Welcome to the PCV Views. I'm Farid Pathan from New Jersey, United States, and our distinguished guest today, Professor Lieutenant Colonel Najmul Hasan Kalimullah, BNCC Chairman of Jolly Pop. And our another guest, Farhad Hussain, Professor from Dhaka University, and Iftekhar Ahmed, a businessman.
Central University College, not Dhaka University.
Dhaka
Central University College.
Central University College. Okay, excuse me. And Iftekhar Ahmed, a business person from Dhaka. Now, today's our topic is Dr. Yunus and his government's function. What we have seen last 6 months, that the government already spent about 6 months now. What we do in the United States, we assess about 100 days, what is achieved by the government the last 100 days. Now we are talking about, we are going to talk about what last 6 months, Dr. Yunus government and his associates, what they have been achieved. We're going to talk about this today. First of all, I will go to Professor Dr. Lieutenant Colonel Kalimullah. Would you please explain what we have been achieved last 6 months by this government, and what you feel like there are some lacks on it that we didn't achieved or not achieved. Do you hear me, Mr. Kalimullah? Do you hear me now?
Sir,
are you asking me?
Right. Yes. My question was usually what we do in the United States, that we assess 100 days achievement of the government. But last 6 months, we spent about 6 months now. What we have been achieved by this government and their associates? What do you feel? What do you think?
Well, it would be a kind of mixed feedback. We had sky high expectation. However, at the end, we ended up having, in clear terms, misgovernance, not good governance. It was expected that price hike can be arrested, but however, it's other way around, and lawlessness has become the norm of the day. So, in such circumstances, we are really frustrated. And if it continues unabated like this, we may end up having South Asian Somalia here.
Now, if I ask you another question, do you think that the military governments isn't there, and then a president is another function of this government body? Do you think that Dr. Yunus have the capability to overcome these two power that is right in front of him?
Well, he's the only well-known personality in Bangladesh who is known all over the world, and he could be the lender of the last resort, but it seems his employers actually used him for their purpose, their end, and at the cost of his name and fame, he found himself in such a despicable environment. He's aging, And also, I think he has the right to sort of get out of this job gracefully. We don't have the right to sort of put him in a false position, which he doesn't deserve.
Though he has a lot more international support rather than other political leaders, what we have seen in
That's,
Bangladesh.
that's
Do you think the inner Bangladesh, the politicians and his associates not supporting his position that what he's not functioning right? Do you think that?
you know, the mainstream political parties such as Bangladesh Nationalist Party, BNP, and Jamaat Islami Bangladesh, and other left-wing parties, all of them came out in clear terms for full support. In the first few months, but gradually, you know, the student activists, they are sort of have taken the charge in one form or another, formally and informally. So the people who were supportive, they became a little bit apprehensive and started coming up with critical remarks. And you know, after all, those who are active in politics, they're seasoned people. They will have to interact with the people. They'll have to go back to their electorate. So they don't want to ruin their career, you know.
Mhm.
That's why they're gradually distancing themselves,
Okay.
from this mayhem.
Okay, I'll come back to you again
Yes, please.
in a second terms. Now I'll go to Mr. Farhad Hussain. What Mr. Kalimullah just said, and that the dysfunctioning of his governance body. To me, what I've seen, that environmental advisor Rezwan Hassan is more vocal than the advisors that in this government body. Do you think they are hiding or to expose them, or what is the lack of behind this function not to do it and support Dr. Yunus? Dr. Yunus, one, he cannot control the whole country. He needs support from his buddies, what his associates all around him. Do you think what is the gap between these two? What is the reason behind
Thank
it?
you.
Mhm.
Have you asked me this question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pathan Bhai, you have invited me in this prestigious show, and I am very much happy that my respected teacher, Professor Dr. Kulimullah, is in the show, and one of my best friends, Mithu Bhai, is here today. And really, I'm excited that you have given me the opportunity to be in this show. You know that many things happens. Many things happen in the passing of time. It is the clear indication of the history. It is the clear indication of the history. It is
Mhm.
the teaching of the history.
Right.
And for the last 6 months,
Mhm.
we have been passing through many events and episodes.
Right.
We have got a government of new kind and new type. Definitely, it is not a government elected by the people. Neither it is a caretaker government. It is an interim government by nature. And you know that because of the situation abruptly arrived or situation abruptly raised, definitely the forming the government was in a very hasty way. And that is why some limitations have been found, no doubt. But those who are working in the cabinet or in the advisory council of Professor Dr. Yunus, They are not sufficiently experienced because they were not, neither they were involved in politics, nor they were involved in administration in previous regimes, in any previous regime. That is very important. Most of them are quite new. But I am not disappointed. There is some particular change I have found, particularly the economy, that Professor Dr. Yunus has brought. I know that the financial institutions were not running well.
Yes,
Most
Mr.
of the financial
Mr.
institutions, let
Mr.
me
Farad,
finish.
yes. Mr. Farad,
Most of the
my
financial
point is that,
institutions,
yeah, my point is that the financial institutions is reshuffling this only one institution, and environmental is not going to do that much support for the whole country. Do you think that the anti-corruption, the administration, the on all other recruitation, all this in other sectors, if all the sectors doesn't come combined, then the government function is not going to do any right. He's not going to get any support.
let me touch the financial institutions, banks and others.
Right.
These were passing through a very crucial time, and Dr. Yunus already has taken a particular step in order to bring a positive change. And even the situation was like this: one client has dropped the check in the bank, but he was not in a position to get the money. Bank has to take time
Mhm.
giving the money against the check in a very example way. That was the condition. And I think that the situation exactly has been improved
Right.
under this government, no doubt about it. And the time of the government is not so long. It is only 6 months plus, not more than this. I think that this time is not sufficient exactly to make a very conclusive comment on a government. We have to wait for this. There are so many organizations are need to be exactly are needed to be changed, are needed to have some reformation or to bring about a particular positive change to
Right.
make these organizations active exactly to ensure the service of those institutions to the common people.
I
That is
will.
a question.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you again. I think now what the market because the Ramadan is coming in the next month, the market, the commodity price dropped down. What do you think, Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed, that this coming Ramadan season is going to be uncontrolled? The market is going to be controlled, all the commodity prices?
Not like previously what happened. I think the price of you cannot bring everything in one moment. We cannot fix everything, as you know. The prices of oil and other stuff will be still high. Maybe some vegetables items which we grow over here will be less. Other than that, I cannot see any change over there. And exactly just before the Ramadan, what will happen, I cannot see in advance right now.
The government
We-
subsidy food is stopped, and now they are not
Mhm.
supplying this. Do you think it's going to make an impact on the for the public, those
Yeah,
people who cannot afford?
of course it will, because the nobody has they did not get any raise. The price, living expenses became too expensive nowadays, and the commodities also. So I don't see that any way that dramatically the price will go down. Some commodities price will be less, but most of the commodities prices will be high.
Do you have any knowledge about the government taking any steps to support the government and supply the commodities in our market? Because now we are hearing that there's a shortage of cooking oil. What do you think about it?
There is the shortage of cooking oil will definitely raise the cooking oil's price. With that, everything else's prices will also go.
Mhm.
Because I told you in the previous shows also, we do not have sufficient dollar reserve. We need to have this reserve, and above all, these are all imported items. So import, if you cannot open an LC, how will you import it? As I
Still,
told
we
you,
have
on
three,
online,
four
nothing.
weeks. Still, we have 3, 4 weeks time. So,
Yes,
if we
three,
do
4 weeks.
now, if you take any step, a preventive
Mhm.
step now, then we can solve this problem. Do you think the government have any knowledge about this?
I'm not aware of that.
Mhm.
Who can solve this problem? I do not see who is in charge of this. Who is going to do what? Every like
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That what we know that only the environmental advisor Razwana Hassan
Mm,
is she is more vocal than the other sectors. So if we don't hear from the other advisors, so how do you know this Dr. Yunus government is functioning right? And all the sectors. Now I will go to Professor Clement, Mr. Clement. Just about a days ago, Mr. Benzir, Ms. Benzir Ahmed had a statement so that he got some power inside the government and inside the police force. His people are in there, and the last previous government bodies are there. Do you think that that power could be implemented in the coming days? They have any opportunity or any possibility that kind of action being taken in the near future?
You know, Banerjee has already earned a lot of notoriety, I'd say. He was
If
a
I, if,
flamboyant character, and he amazed a lot of wealth illegally, and he has become a symbol of flamboyancy.
if I
Uh,
excuse me, if I add another information, then you would be a lot better. He got already United States sanction. You know that.
I know,
He
but he didn't care, and the previous administration was lenient, because he represented the then regime in the UN sort of seminar or convention. So they provided him with the visa, of course, in restricted nature of the terms. But he said although there was sanction on him, he succeeded in putting his feet in the soil of America. So he became desperate and also uh, sort of tried to show this as a kind of part to represent him as a personality who doesn't care, almost like a cowboy image. He could succeed in developing in the eyes of common people. No one liked it, but they were afraid of him.
when you serve in a government, then sometimes you waive that kind of the visa restrictions or something. But when you are out of the government service and you are under sanction, your money transfer and your financial transaction is going to be more observed and more checked by the government intelligence and then being in a government, part of the government. Don't you think so?
Well, when you are part of the government, your office is your capital,
Right.
and he had access to head of the government. So, he didn't care anybody, and he was kind of a dashing character, and his proximity to the then prime minister made him all powerful, not only in his rank and file, uh, in his service, but also all over Bangladesh.
How you feel about his statements in the current situation in Bangladesh? Do you think his statement is true or false?
I think he doesn't have the moral right to come up with any statement whatsoever. He is a fugitive in real sense of the term. So, he doesn't have any moral standing whatsoever.
Mhm.
So I don't accept it. You know.
Okay. Now, Mr. I will go to for Mr. Farad Hussain. Do you think that the government and the people are the coming days, what their expectation from this government, what they're looking for? It looks like everybody is scattered. Everybody is demanding something. Mr. Dr. Yunus, he's been facing about 113. What I have seen, 113 demonstration being done and demanded for their own some demand. They've been looking for their salary, their position, all kind of demand. What do you think in the coming days? How he's going to keep on thinking about this, fulfilling this demand, or to create the government body? How you think Dr. Yunus is going to do? What do you
Thank
think?
you. Thank you. But it's a very important question. Demanding, demonstration, precision.
Mhm.
These are the pictures of democratic rights. So we should not exactly apprehend it for this.
So last
It
17
is the
years there wasn't any
it is the
democracy there.
it is the beauty of democracy. The people of different professionals are demanding, are making demonstration on the street, but they are not creating any loitering situation. The government has got a certain kind of capacity, but the capacity is limited because our country is not so exactly improved in so many ways to mitigate the demand overnight. But I think that the present government is taking a particular concern about the demands of the people of different professions. So demand is going on, and the government measure of mitigating the demands of the different professionals will be continued. I think that. But thing is that that huge corruption in our country has already been taken place. And because the present government is facing some particular troubles, no doubt about it. And my respected sir, Professor Kalimullah, was telling about Benazir Ahmed. He was the former student of my department, English department, but he was a first course student. Okay, and he was oriented exactly with having a corruption, with having earning money through illegal way. How he was oriented, this kind of exactly oriented with this kind of corruption, because his father was also in the police service. I don't like to be confused to tell about it. So he was highly oriented how to make money, exactly, to be the member of Bangladesh police.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
yes, Kalimullah sir has rightly said how dear he is making comment on the prevailing situation of Bangladesh. You know that Benazir Ahmed is a strange character, and America is a country of strange picture. And that is why a man who is under an embargo, he has got exactly his footstep, particularly the soil of the United States of America. How? How? It is a strange matter. I'm surprised to say this. He is a man, he is a man having the incarnation or the picture of corruption in the paramount stage in the police service. No
do you
doubt
think?
about it.
Do you think further? Do you
And
think
no, let me
he
finish.
got any
No, no,
power
sorry,
at
let me
all?
finish. His name, Benazir's name, will be remembered as the highly corrupted personality in police service in Bangladesh. No doubt about it. It is strange how a police officer can make a huge amount of money, but he is raising his voice without taking any sort of care and concern. How? I'm surprised. So I think that the present government should take a very strict measure against those corrupt officers who exactly made money through absolute illegal, illegitimate process and destroy the economy of our country, for which we have been under a strong suffering today.
Now I'm going to go to Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed. Do you think what the young kids they are demanding to make a new political party? How you see their picture, their future? Do you think they could do something on a political arena? And what would
Well,
be their
politics
stand? And who would
in
be their
course of
leader?
time. Yeah, I was coming to that point. They are in the right track. They need some guidance, and I think they are very new in this field. But the way they brought this revolution, which we could not do anything, they did that thing. They brought the country to liberty. We become liberal again. So we cannot ignore them. They are a vulnerable force, big force. Hmm. And they are next generation. Our next generation should move forward. If they want to move forward politically, Alhamdulillah, no problem at all, because they will be sitting in the parliament in the near future. But they need also some kind of guidance. They need to seek some guidance from the proper people who were there before, who loves the country, not only who want to make money. So this kind of lot of gossips are going around
Who
to
would be
destroy
their
a lot of
symbol
people.
of a symbol? Like now we know the Awami League, Mr. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is the founder of the party, and Ziaur Rahman is BNP. Janab Eshad is from Jatiya Party. Now, who you think this party is leadership, the symbol, the ideal man is going to be? You think?
It's a tough question. You always ask me, Pathan Bhai. Those are past. Those are histories. Hmm.
Mhm.
So we do not want our history to repeat again. Wrong history to repeat. We want. I want to see this young generation they made history. So they remain in history as their national hero and
Do
guide
you see Dr.
good.
Kalimullah is going to be their ideal man for the new party?
You ask him. You ask
Uh, do,
him.
you,
Why you asking me? I can now. I'm about to say.
do,
You were talking about Dr.
do you
Yunus, a
think
person like
Dr.
him.
Yunus is going to be their political party idol man?
What I can see, somebody send me this thing. I say, is it true that in 6 months, a person of age 84 has faced 136 movements? Who is that person? Dr. Yunus.
Dr. Yunus, right?
So if the person has faced this kind of challenges and is still in that seat and running the country, that means we have to. The people has to know one thing: he has a big support from the international community behind him.
Right, right.
As an ignorant person, I can say that much. I might
And
be
also the
100%
World
wrong.
Bank.
Yeah. So if
Oh,
you suddenly try to topple somebody to get the agenda done, this will be wrong policy. And I am going out of the subject again with your permission. You are talking about Mr. Benazir,
right,
about the police department. The
right,
police department actually that he says say that 90% of the police are behind him. How
right,
dare he can say this kind of foolish comments? And we have seen his audacity during the time when the army chief, everybody knows, that he was showing his big stick in front of him like that, as if he's running the country. That's what actually happened.
that was
You
General
cannot give
Aziz,
the power.
right?
Yeah, you just said it. Yeah, correct. So he was sitting like what do I call it? Like a cat, and Benazir was like a tiger. Hmm.
Right.
So where this tiger is now? He's a runaway thug now. Wanted fugitive, as Kalimullah I said it rightly. So I have personally seen. few days, 2 weeks ago, I had a lunch right after the Friday, one of my relatives' house, who is still in the police. I won't mention the name. He after in 15 years he didn't get the promotion. He just got the promotion last year. He
Right.
became AI additional IG. So I asked him why couldn't you get the promotion? He said there was no way I can get the promotion without money. I don't have that much money. There are many honest police officers in high rank and low rank also. Police does not mean bad, brother. I will say that much only. Any more
Now,
questions, sir?
do you think Mr. Benazir admitted that last 15, 17 years, what they've been recruiting in the police and the government, other sectors, they've been all been tested by that DNA, who is doing what party and what family is doing what party. That's why they are getting hired on a last 17 years by Bangladesh Army League. And that's why he's claiming that 90% of these sectors they are from Awami League Party. Do you
Maybe.
think that is the
That's
reason
more
that the
that's
students
more
had a
likely
movement?
because when you if I like a golf course membership, golf club membership, they came to my house a long time back. They came. Does your father does BNP? Does your mother does BNP? Your uncle, aunt, all these things. I said I have nobody in my family who does politics. If I say it, it's a blatant lie.
Mhm.
The politicians doesn't. What will I say? Politicians are everywhere. I have politics who are in the current regime and also who were in the previous regime. So does it make what I got to do with them? I'm not involved with them. So this kind of system the previous regime brought that they have to politicize the whole thing. That is not correct.
Right. Okay.
Think about the nation.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you. I'll come
You're
back
welcome. Thank you, sir.
for your closing statements. Now, I'm going to Mr. Khalimullah. That's your closing statement. What do you think about that? Adani is demanding their $800 million for their electricity bill. That now we know our demand is about 16,000 megawatts, but we are paying 29,000 megawatts the capacity charge. If the other Summit Group and Adani they shut their supply, do you think the whole country is going to go on dark? What is the redundancy plan for this government to not to shut down the whole power sectors in Bangladesh?
Well, the treaty obligation we have with Adani has put us in a precarious position. We are, in a way, captive position,
Right.
and that's why, because of the treaty obligation, uh, Yunus government had to continue
Yeah. Carry
this
on.
honor this treaty or memorandum of understanding, and we're in dire necessity of power and energy supply. If you want to keep the productive sector alive, you need electricity, and that's why Professor Yunus's government had no other option but to sort of honor the treaty obligation. Thank you.
You know, they say every year so we need a 15% more electricity in our national grid line. But last year, there wasn't any new power plant being built. Even what was supplying that one third of the power plant, they are not functioning. Do you think that dark days are coming very soon?
Well, during Hasina's regime, the government gave indemnity, and that's their safety clause. So it's against the people's interest. Definitely, it's against the national interest, and it is against all sort of good governance practice. So it's a really dismal picture, I'm afraid. Thank you.
What we have seen the last 20 last 5 years, that our Mili government have been claiming we supplied every single house the electricity, but the shortage, the load sharing, there was 5,000 megawatts. The total demand of the country is 16,000 megawatts, but the supply is only 12,000 megawatts. So about 4,000 megawatts is a shortage. But the capacity charge we are paying for 29,000 megawatts. There's a big gap between these two. The people are taking money from the government, but not supplying the
No
electricity.
doubt about that. They're ripping up the government, and which is really unfair, immoral. But it's fait accompli.
There are no
So we'll have
accountability.
to honor the treaty obligation. That's it.
There are no accountability who is supplying and who is not.
It's unequal sort of agreement, no doubt about that. And in a way, we are bribing them. They have made us kind of hostage, and Hasina has given this privilege to them. So, what can you do? She's has become a fugitive.
Now the Hasina government is not in a power, but Dr. Yunus government, he is in a power. He could have shut down those bill not to pay those companies who are not supplying electricity electricity power in our national grid line. Why should the government, the people of the country, is going to pay the power plant who is not supplying any electricity at all in our national grid line?
It's a racket. It's quite strong, and they are continuing to hold sway and influence on this government as well, which is unfortunate.
Now it is a different government. He got all authority to shut it down.
True, but Professor Yunus has become an hostage, I'm afraid. What can he do?
Okay, I understand. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I will go to Mr. Farhad Hussain. If my question goes to you, the same thing about this power sector, what do you think about it? That you heard what I said.
Pathan Bhai, it's a very, very important question because Bangladesh is in a vulnerable situation, particularly in power sector, because the power sector has been given in private sectors.
It is a national threat, national security threat.
It definitely, and let me finish. And some particular persons are found to be concerned with power supply in Bangladesh. That means Adani, Summit, Orion, Esalom. These are the dominant power suppliers. They are dealing their power supplying business in private sector. They are not the part of the government. But it is unfortunate that the last regime exactly was found very much interested in giving them particular privilege exactly to have a monopoly supply of power. And there was no particular tender for another company or another power supply institution to come to this kind of business. And now my question is very clear. What is the benefit of the last regime exactly to give monopoly business to those persons, that means those organizations, Adani, Esalom, Summit, Orion, etc., etc. And you know that if today only, I would like to mention only one company, that is Summit, is going to close the power supply to Bangladesh, Bangladesh will go to the darkness within 5 minutes. within
So what is the
even
redundancy?
within a single minute, within a
Exactly. What
single
is the
minute.
redundancy plan? What is the redundancy plan of the government?
Yes.
What is the
Sorry.
redundancy plan of the government if the summit shut down it?
That will be a catastrophe. All
What
the
is the
factories functioning in
alternate
different
plan?
and productive level. Let me finish. The governments and other industries are absolutely are depending particularly on the power supply. And Summit is taking a particular huge range of responsibility of supplying, as they are the monopoly power supplier in Bangladesh. You know,
Mhm.
and my question is that what is the benefit or interest of the government to give this sort of privileges exactly to enjoy the monopoly business in power sector to some particular persons and organizations? It is my question. The question is that, and the picture is horrible when powers are not being supplied, but the bill are being paid.
Right. It's
What
a
does it
thief.
mean?
It's a thief.
Who are giving them bill without having the supply of the power? The government within a very short time cannot go to the different management exactly to stop, you know,
This
or to
is
discard
this is
Adani,
about
to
hundreds
discard
of
Samit,
millions of
to
dollars.
discard Orion, to discard Asalam. These are the power supply companies. It is really tough. It will take time for the government exactly to go to the different arrangement to ensure the smooth power supply. It is a question of huge investment. It is a question of huge challenge right now. We are we are exactly miserably depending on this exactly uh, particular organizations who are not patriot at all, but they are exactly finding their own interest, business interest, nothing more than this. This is a challenge. What will be the condition in the coming days, particularly in power sector? Even today, I am not in a position to make the prediction. I'm scared, apprehended. If if Summit, Adani, and other groups exactly had gone to the strike not to supply power, if there crisis between the government and those institutions, what will be the condition of Bangladesh, particularly in the power supply sector? I cannot imagine it.
Hmm. Very unfortunate. Very
Very
unfortunate.
unfortunate. And not only that, we need a particular megawatt of power supply, but we are paying more than this. What is the reason
Exactly.
behind this?
More than 50, more than 100%. We are paying more. And
Who are
power.
serving whose interest? Who are serving whose interest? Exactly to take the extra loot in the last regime, during the last
So,
regime.
so,
It's a
so
very
that this
confusing
sector,
question. I am not a
this sector,
technocrat.
okay, this
I am not
sector
a
is
technocrat. I have come from a background of literature, but from a common sense and from the tips I have got from you, I am making argument particularly on this matter, on power sector.
I'm an electrical engineer. I am looking at this picture is coming now, and I can warn this administration that what you're going to face next. Yes, thank you very much, Farad Bhai. That I sent that
It,
kind of.
it is your creation. I thank you for your sense of patriotism. You are doing a lot exactly to clarify the picture of what happened exactly in the last regime, particularly in power sector. It is horrible.
I showed the picture what I can do, and this
If
what is
if
going
a
on.
person if a person reads these pictures and narratives, it will be clarified to him what exactly happened in the last regime, particularly in power sector.
Right, 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 right. Thank you, Farad Bhai. Thank you. That's what I did. It's a project that I could have saved hundreds of millions of dollars for the government. Now I will go to Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed. Uh, that monsoon season is coming, like within 3 months. There wasn't any job done in the villages and dredging and rivers. Do you think that that India and his all the dams is going to be another national threat last what we have seen in Feni in last year by Gumoti Nadi. They opened the gates and it was flashed out, flash flood, that kind of things. We're going to see this year more, or do you think the Indian government is going to cooperate with us in a better sense?
It's not the Indian government or Indians, it's the regime, the current regime in India. What they are doing and their hostile attitude towards us, I can assure you, they will definitely open all the dams to flood us out. How is there any rescue plan from that? We cannot. We'll be facing severe disaster if they open 110 sluice gate in Farakka. North Bengal will be flooded. Am I right? Or
Right.
correct me if I'm wrong. And Ghazaldoba, then did Feni, Kumilla, all will be flooded. This water will go where? Towards downwards.
Right.
Basically,
Lower
60
riparian.
to 70. Yeah. Even your Sylhet will be flooded. The previous regime, what they done, they've closed all the means the swamps, I mean, in English. So they have closed everything and the water, there's nowhere to go. So the water will go, the level will go up, then where? That highway they made, they should have put the water to go from this one part to another part. There should be a hole over there. No hole over there. It became a dam itself. How can we do not know? God doesn't help them who doesn't help themselves.
Right.
We are waiting for an angel to come to rescue us. We have to rescue ourselves first. Then Allah will send angels.
Do you think that government aids is they have any plan to purchase some aids who are going to be the victim of the flood? They are on hand, or they're going to look for if that happened. That what we always see.
We always hope that never happens, but that will happen.
Yeah,
that
because
will happen.
that's the nature of our country. The monsoon time is going to come, and there's going to have flash flood, and we see every year. But do we have any preparation for that?
I don't think so. I think the government is taking a preparation for a dam. Where it is, I have not read the news yet. They're aware of that. They're making a barrage, but barrage cannot be made in one day. It will take a long time.
Right.
So by that time, the water will come. So don't think about that will be fixed. The problem will be fixed in 1 minutes. No, it will not. We have to, yes, there has to be a plan B, what to do, how to rescue, minimize the damage, what to do, which department does it, I don't even know. I'm confused like the whole nation. But I think definitely Dr. Yunus and the interim government who are sitting in the proper position, they have some plan B. They should come up with a plan because we still got 4 months. I will urge the current regime please to look into this matter regarding the electricity matter and electricity power shortage. As you have already mentioned, I'll not go to that one more time, but the flood is a serious thing. It will damage everything that we cannot imagine.
Right. The people suffer. The poor people suffer.
Very much so.
I will now.
Crops will be destroyed.
We are getting close to our closing, and now the last question goes to Mr. Dr. Kalimullah. Would you please tell us 3 good things this government did and 3 bad things this government did? Would you please tell us that you see and that government did 3 good things and 3 bad things that you feel that way? Would you please?
Well, I'll only say one good thing, that is discouraging people to use plastic, poly bags and things like that. That's I would say, environment friendly gesture. I welcome that. And bad thing is misgovernance.
Two more other two other more. You don't see.
No. I want to sort of concentrate on only these 2. That's it.
Okay. So
Thank
the
you.
other one, what is the other one that one is the environmental, the other one?
Well, they have come up with a lot of reform efforts, but I'm afraid very little would last long, because as soon as we have a political government, we know that they're going to abandon all these pious wishes, no doubt about it.
So this commission function doesn't make any sense
It's a
at all.
wastage of public money, I would say.
So this commission, reformation commissions, that all is just make no sense at all, right?
Of course, it's just killing time, to prolong the rule. That's it. People's mandate is very important, I mean, sooner the better.
So you think this
Because in the
administration
process,
should?
what will happen, you know, they will make PNP unpopular,
Hmm.
and that won't be good for the country.
So you think this government should concentrate more on the other functions than
Only,
reformation?
only on election, nothing else.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And Mr. Farhad Hussain and Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed, thank you for joining with us. And the viewers, we will stay safe
Farid
and
Bhai, Farid
healthy.
Bhai,
Uh,
Farid Bhai,
yes,
Let me have the privilege to make a comment.
sure, please.
Just we have finished winter season, okay?
Right.
We are on the stepping of the summer, and after summer we will be exactly in stepping of the that means rainy season, and
Monsoon
that is
time.
the yes monsoon time, and it is the time of flood.
Right.
Bangladesh has been experienced over the years,
Every year.
and I'd like to make it clear by my humble statement that if we feel that there is a particular ill initiative taken by any country for Bangladesh to face flood, I think that the government of Bangladesh should go to the two forums, international forums. One is the United Nations Security Council, and the second is International Court of Justice, to have the perpetual solution and settlement exactly for Bangladesh to come out from this problem.
Right.
Because we are badly experienced about the reason why we have been facing every year the devastating and catastrophic flood, which cannot be exactly, which cannot be, which cannot be solved in a very example initiative. Thank you very much.
Don't you think that this gates, that Farakka barrage and Gajaldua barrage and the other barrages they did from the upper riparian region, they built, and there are areas. Do you think they are using that as a weapon?
Farid Bhai, I'd like to say one thing very clearly
While my
that
country
India,
people be
that
underwater, they supply.
let me
While they are already underwater, they supply more water in our country.
let me clarify one thing.
Right.
The embankment erected by India does not exactly adjust with the principle of the law of the principle of the river International River Commission.
Right.
And since we are the bordering country, we are the bordering country of India. We are not consulted in any time, particularly using this Farakka barrage. It is unfortunate. There were some specific, exactly talking, addressing the issues in several times. Even Ganges treaties had been signed in 1996 when the Farooq Subhan was the Foreign Secretary of Bangladesh. But all these things had not been implemented properly by the policy exactly taken by India. And if it is so, if the barrage is not exactly used according to the principle of the International River Commission, I think that Bangladesh has got every right to go to the International Court of Justice or the United Nations Security Council to have a very concurrent discussion about it, to reflect the picture of our giant neighbor to the world community.
I think Farad Fai, that Faraka Barrage been signed by Mr. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founder of the nation, and in 1974. But India been trying to build that Faraka Barrage since 1958. At that time, during the Pakistan, they told the India, if you build anything, we're going to bomb on the same day, right?
Let me finish one thing. General Yahya Khan, when he was the president,
Right,
he was
right,
invited exactly to oversee the Faraka barrage when it was being built up. It was
right.
not completed yet, okay?
Mhm,
And he was watching this by helicopter
mhm,
from the sky. But Pakistan government did not take any sort of initiative. I'm sorry
right.
to say, even the then Pakistan government made no statement at all against this barrage being built by India. But
But
I think that
now,
Pakistan government during the time had every potential position exactly to make a protest and even to bring this matter to the United Nations Security Council, even to the International Court of Justice, to build up this barrage exactly against the principle of the International River Commission. But Pakistan didn't do it.
oh, okay. Now we see out of 57, 53 rivers being dammed and blocked.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We'll have another issues for next week. Thanks a lot. Wish you all happy, healthy, and better days ahead of us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.
Some